Police said investigations into those court tampering allegations involving Michael MP V. Alfred Gray are well underway. The Democratic National Alliance leader accepted Prime Minister Perry Christie's challenge of a debate, and the carnival headliner was revealed. We've got those stories and a whole lot more. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and this is the Tribune's Top 5. Democratic National Alliance leader Bramwell McCartney said his party is willing to sponsor a debate between himself, the nation's chief, and F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis. DNA frontman Bramwell McCartney has accepted Prime Minister Perry Christie's challenge of a public debate between the country's three political leaders. It was last Thursday, while speaking to journalism students at the College of the Bahamas, that Mr. Christie urged the students present to challenge him, Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis, and Mr. McCartney to a public debate so they could determine who is better of the three. It was at that forum that Mr. Christie, in expressing his disdain for members of the local media, controversially said of journalists who criticized his leadership capability, "To hell with them." Mr. McCartney said, quote, "Indeed, I look forward to the debate being held at the College of the Bahamas prior to the end of May 2015. The Democratic National Alliance has advanced the need for public debates since 2012, the year of the last general election. In light of this, the Democratic National Alliance will be willing to sponsor this debate," end quote. However, F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis has said he is not interested in debating the Prime Minister or Mr. McCartney. Dr. Minnis said he would be better served working to rid the Bahamas of an ineffective CEO who is incapable of making tough but necessary decisions. Scotiabank Bahamas confirmed on Monday the consolidation of a number of its New Providence branches and that it would close 2 Family Island branches over the next 6 months. The restructuring of its branch network is projected to leave an estimated 50 people unemployed, the bank confirmed to the Tribune. Officials said they were working to minimize the impact. 3 branches in New Providence will be consolidated. These include Caves Village into Cable Beach, Wolf Road and East Street into Thompson Boulevard, and Marlborough Street into Rawson Square. In Abaco, the Cooperstown location will be consolidated with the branch in Marsh Harbor. 2 branches at the Family Islands will be closed, including the location in Stella Maris, Long Island, and one in North Eleuthera. However, automated teller machine services will be maintained in North Eleuthera. The branches in Roxtown, Eleuthera, and Buckley's, Long Island will be converted to service centers operating with reduced service hours and full-service ATMs, the statement said. F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis on Monday raised concerns that an additional 50 people will be added to the unemployment line. He appealed to bank executives to remain sensitive to the financial obligations of those affected. Labor Minister Shane Gibson has lashed out at the Canadian bank. He said the impending layoff of employees at Scotiabank Bahamas was disappointing and castigated the Canadian bank for only focusing on financial gain rather than how lives of Bahamians will be affected. He further questioned why Scotiabank Bahamas did not let go any of its work permit holders. After months of speculating just who would headline the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival's concert, the Tribune confirmed that it would be Trinidadian soca star Machel Montano. Trinidadian singing sensation Machel Montano will reportedly pocket $100,000 to headline the Music Masters concert for the upcoming Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival, according to well-placed sources in the National Festival Commission. This is reportedly $40,000 more than Bahamen, this country's Grammy Award-winning band, will be paid to play at the concert, the source said. The Tribune was also told that some Bahamian acts requested larger payouts than the Caribbean singer. The NFC source said Bahamen requested $200,000 to close out the event, while Bahamian singer KB requested $150,000, despite him never being paid more than $3,000 to perform at any Bahamian event. Bahamian music legend Ronnie Butler has criticized some Bahamian artists for attempting to overcharge the government to perform at Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. Although he is listed as one of the official performers for the event, Mr. Butler also told this newspaper that he had no idea he was performing at the inaugural festival until he was contacted by family and friends who saw the announcement in the Tribune. He admitted that the government contacted him several months ago and asked him to perform at one of the events, but he said he has not heard from anyone since. He said until he gets a contract and is paid, he does not consider himself to be a part of the event. Despite the naysayers, Prime Minister Perry Christie said his government's performance will not be matched in the history of this country, citing his administration's legislative agenda and reform of the tax system and gaming sector as achievements. Speaking to students at the College of Bahamas' journalism program last week, Mr. Christie pointed to taxation and gaming reform, plans for national health insurance, a pledge to enact a Freedom of Information Act as some of the major issues his government would have addressed by the time its term ends. He boasted that international observers have praised the efficiency of value-added tax implementation. On the issue of FOIA, he said Minister of Education Jerome Fitzgerald is now ready to bring the act. Mr. Christie said, quote, "The International Monetary Fund will give a report to the Bahamas. That report will be coming out. They have looked at our tax system and analyzed it. They have said we have had the most efficient implementation of VAT of any country, and we did it because we incorporated the private sector," end quote. VAT was implemented at a rate of 7.5% on most goods and services on January 1st. Police said the investigations into the alleged judicial interference case involving Michael MPV Alfred Gray is nearing completion. A team of Royal Bahamas Police Force officers was in Maguana over the weekend conducting interviews, Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson said on Wednesday. He said, quote, "We started the investigation and it is well underway. We had a team of officers that went to Maguana and interviewed several persons and gathered information. We are moving quite quickly and I can tell you this will not be a long process. We are near completion," end quote. As for whether Michael MPV Alfred Gray and Island Administrator Zephaniah Newbold were already interviewed, Mr. Ferguson would not comment. While the investigation continues, FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis on Wednesday criticized Prime Minister Perry Christie for not firing Mr. Gray in view of the allegations, accusing Mr. Christie of being weak and indecisive. He also reiterated that his party would be unrelenting in its calls for the full resignation of Mr. Gray from the cabinet post of Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources. Mr. Gray has been the subject of immense criticism since the FNM accused him nearly 2 weeks ago of abusing his power by contacting Mr. Newbold about a man convicted in Maguana and sentenced to a prison term. Mr. Newbold was the local magistrate who presided over the case. Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com, like us on Facebook, the Tribune News Network, send us a tweet at Tribune242, or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.